and welcome to the Daily Meal for Sunday, the 28th of September 2025. Being a Sunday, there isn't much news to talk about. In fact, there isn't any. There's none. But I will tell you this. I have some information for you. Not news, information. And that is this. The full match, Swansea City versus Millwall. So, if you go to swanseacity.com, which is Swansea City's official website, they have uniquely put the full match replay onto their website. All you have to do is go to the website and press play. You do not need to log in. You do not have to go pay any money. It's not behind a paywall. It's just there. It's just there. Which is unique in football. I've never seen another club that does this. Normally, you need to have an account. You need to log in. And obviously, if you log into an account, you give them your details. You give them your email, your name, your address, and all that. Date of birth, all kinds of stuff. So then it's up to the club what they do with that information. They might sell it on. They might use it for marketing. All kinds of things. But Swansea, it's just there. So if you want to watch, if you don't have Sky, you didn't see the game, you want to watch the game, the full 90 minutes, here you go. It's available. Just get on swanseacity.com. So there you go. Now we're going to talk about the stats from that game, because that's what we do on a Sunday, every Sunday, when there isn't any news. We just talk about the stats. So this is from whoscored.com. And here we go. You can see, if you look on the right hand side, the top performers in categories of rating, total shots, tackles and dribbles. Ryan Leonard, 7 tackles. Tristan, well, he had to, because the guy he was up against, Inusa, he had 5 dribbles. So it could be a case that Ryan Leonard made 7 tackles, but he missed 7. It could be he just had a lot to do. Will he get rested for Wednesday? Is he going to be fit enough? I don't know, but it's certainly a hard week this week. You've got Swansea away, Coventry at home, West Brom at home. There's a lot going on. Man of the match, Tristan Kramer, 8.0, and the next player's down a 7.5. So that is pretty interesting. If we go back into the middle, you can see Millwall created a high number of chances relative to their possession, were aggressive, lost possession often, played with width and favoured long balls. Attempts on goal, numbered 13 for them, 11 for us. 8-8 open play, 5-3 set piece. They had more set pieces than us. And our 1 goal from 11 shots is a 9% conversion rate. And their 1 goal from 13 shots is a 7% conversion rate. So, ours is pretty standard for the league, and theirs is just below. So we go down, look at these graphical pictures. You can see we were going down the wings, and they were going down the wings. Kind of evenly matched then, so, the draw. Shot directions. Shot zones. Again, pretty similar to some extent. Well, we don't really shoot from outside the box that much, do we? Action zones, mostly in the middle of the park. And player positions, there you go, 4-1-4-1. That's what it was yesterday, 4-1-4-1. 21, who's 21? Who is 21? That's Luongo. 49 is Derek, isn't it? Is it 49 or 39? Who's 39? I don't know. 19, that's Coburn. 22 is Amaku. 7 is Ballo. Oh, no, 39 Smallbone. So there you go. That's what it was. Interesting that. So the average position, I don't know if this is just a technical thing because they changed position at half time. This isn't updated. It's just a starting 11. So if you have a player that gets moved from one side to the other at half time or later on, It just kind of averages it out. But 35 over there. Were they trying to overload Joe Bryan? Did they think Joe Bryan was the weak link? I don't know. Kind of interesting. But there you go. Cool. Now, before we get on to the stats from the game, I just want to see. So you see here, Tristan Crammer, man of the, or let's say man of the match, got the highest rating of all the players on the pitch, but that's according to the WhoScored.com system, which is used to decide the championship team of the week. Bear that in mind. So he's got the highest rating of all the players on the pitch. Okay. Let's go and have a look. This is the player statistics from the championship so far this season. We're 7 games in. This is the average so far over the season. Tristan Crammer is number 3 in the whole league from ratings from WhoScored.com, which isn't perfect. They do have kind of biases to some things. I think aerial duels, they're biased for that, bumps up your score. Tackles as well. But so you can see here, 7 games he's played, 606 minutes, 7.51, third highest rating in the division. And if you look as well, goals, he's the only one in the top 10 that hasn't scored a goal, because obviously scoring a goal also bumps up your score. And you've got Kiefer Moore here, scored 4. So these are some of these players will be the top scorers in the league. Moore with 4, that rhymes. Mamiti with 4, Torp with 5. We're going to see him on Wednesday, that's fun. Oliver McBurney with 4. And Crammer's the only one there without a goal. So just kind of show, how good he's actually been to be the 3rd highest rated player in the league so far. And you've got to imagine, like, everyone's talking about, fucking, what's it, Ivanovic leaving. Maybe Crammer for PSG, Crammer for Madrid, Crammer for Man United, I don't know, somewhere. I mean, wouldn't shock me. But yeah, just wanted to point that out before we get onto this. So here are the match timeline, the match events. Obviously, after 12 minutes, they scored a goal. Ronald and Vipotnik, the two, I think they're the only players who've scored goals for them. Those 2 players in the league, I think, just those 2. They got a card. Kabanga, 23 minutes. It says 46. That's technically wrong. 45 plus 1 is 46, but 46 is... This is weird how they do the timing in football games now, because they add all these extra times on. So it's hard for a computer to figure it out. You have to kind of write special code for it, I imagine. 45 plus 1 was when the goal was scored. And that's still the first half. And you have however much extra time they add on, whether it's 45 plus 5, 45 plus 10, it's always 45 plus whatever to denote that you're still in the first half. And then once the second half starts, that's 46. So they've got that wrong now. It was in the first half. Well worked goal. I'm pretty sure that was off of the training ground. Joe Bryan short pass to Ballo. Joe Bryan runs on, creates confusion. The defenders start half and half. Which way do I go? That gives Ballo time to turn, whip it into the back post. Jake Cooper, for the first time, he doesn't try and head it towards the goal. So it doesn't mean it goes over the goal or beside the goal. He actually tries to assist someone with a header. And lo and behold, it works. So there you go. And he sets up Josh Coburn, who needed that goal. Hadn't scored so far this season. Missed some sitters as well. Very, should have probably scored 3 or 4 by now. But he's off the mark. He's got the 1. So, hopefully, big week this week. Hopefully that's him off the mark and he's going to start firing him in. We were the first to make the substitutions. Very attacking substitutions as well. and that continued onwards. Unlike the Watford game. So the Watford game, we were backs to the wall. We were desperate, trying to shore it up to get that win, to keep the win. This time we were drawing, but rather than say, okay, let's keep the point, going gung ho and trying to get that second goal to take the win, which is very interesting. That there isn't like one set play like, oh, we're going to defend the lead or we're going to defend. It's like very much circumstantial. And like I imagine because it's home game, it's probably and we hadn't won yet. It's like, oh, we desperately need a win. So that's why I did it in that game. Whereas in the other game, this game, he's like, okay, fuck it, go for it. Like if we lose, we lose. If you look at the top left and top right where the club badges are, you can see the average rating for the players for each team. And it's 6.71 for Swansea, it's 6.67 for Millwall. So pretty even, like a draw. That's kind of like a draw. That's very close. So no surprise, it was a draw. And if we go down, we can see. So lowest rated player for Millwall of the starting 11, Bender, 6.2. And the highest rated, of course, Kramer. But we have Leonard, Mazusako, Brian and Cooper and Coburn, all with 7s. So not that bad. So we go down. And we see who did what in the game. Who did what? So we had 11 shots. They had 13. So there you go. Kramer with 2 shots. Smallbone with 2. Coburn with 1. 1 shot, 1 goal. Can't get better than that. Well, it can. 2 shots, 2 goals would be nice. Langstaff 2. Yeah, should he have scored? Should he have scored? I don't know. Should have done better probably than kicking it at the guy's legs. Probably kick it at his head or something, kick it at his midriff. So, or where his hands are, so he instinctively maybe tries to touch his hand on it. I don't know, something like that, but yeah. Possession 64 to 35. Just how we like it. You have the ball and we will tackle you for it. And then be pretty direct and then give the ball away again and we go again. So who was on the ball the most? So this is match possession time in percentages. So Kramer 4.5, Luongo 4.5, Brian 4.2. Pass success percentage 82 to 69. That probably, that's pretty standard for us, and that's kind of facilitates why the opposition have so much possession, because we can't string 2 or 3 passes together, and we give it away and they get possession, so they get more possession. Mazusako 88%, Coburn 80. Not bad for someone who's playing up front on his own, although I imagine it's probably a pretty low amount of passes that he was involved in. Kramer 83, Bender 48. Dribbles 12 to 6. Mazusako with 2. Yeah, he was. You could see on the graph before that he was, further forward. We're playing 4-1, 4-1. So I think they see that he's probably better. We usually play 2 holding central midfielders, and maybe Alex Neil's seen that this guy can actually fucking play football. So maybe let's get him further forward, because that might be nice. Aerials 1, 17 to 37. Wowza. So that probably, this explains Kramer's high score as well. So he's got the T next to his name, which means a last man tackle. He's got 10 aerials 1. 10. Yikes. Which is more than all of Swansea's defenders put together, just on his own. You got Cooper with 5, Leonard with 5, Coburn with 3, one of which was obviously the goal. Tackles 16 to 22. So everyone with a tackle except for Coburn, Ballo and Cooper for Millwall. Leonard with 7. Like I said, that side was pretty busy. That Inusa guy was running right at him. Brian with 4 as well. That's on Ronald. Corners 6-4. These are the players who won those corners. So there you go. And dispossessed 12-8. Obviously Coburn playing up front his own. No surprise he got dispossessed 3 times. So now let's move on to this, which gives us a little bit more information. So if we go down, it's sorted by rating already. So you can see Crammer with an 8. And then Joe Bryan 7.27. Leonard 7.22. Josh Coburn 7.1, though he only played 77 minutes of that game. Jake Cooper's 7.03, and Derek Mazusako, again, only 77 minutes for him. Still got a 7 rating. Not bad. Yeah, very, very impressed with Derek. Very impressed. And then, we've got 1, 2, 3 players between the 7 and the 6.5. Smallbone, kind of disappointing, to be honest. He looked very good when he came on against Watford, but, in this game, not so much. And then you go down and all of the subs are at the bottom, which is what you expect. But what you don't expect is, well, maybe you do, because he's a very good player and I don't understand why he's on the bench. Maybe because they're trying to build up his fitness, I don't know. But Bangor Williams, so the game was, 94 minutes long. So he's had 7 minutes on the pitch. He's got a rating of 6.19. So he's had 7 minutes on the pitch, which is less than all of the other substitutes, because they came on the 67 and 77. And he's got a rating of 6.19 off of 5 touches of the ball, 100% passing accuracy. And he's got a better score than Billy Mitchell, and Camille Negley, and Macaulay Langstaff, and Mihailo Ivanovic. How's that possible? But there you go. He is very, very talented footballer. And again, like I said, can't understand why we're not seeing more of him. Maybe that'll happen. Maybe they'll rotate the teams this week. Coventry on Wednesday, West Brom next Saturday, which would mean, because obviously the Watford game was on Monday, so we've got 4 games in 2 weeks. In 2 calendar weeks, we've got 4 games. So maybe they will rotate some of the squad, but it's gonna be hard for Alex Neil now. These players are coming back from injury, they're getting match fit. They're gonna coming off the bench, doing bits and pieces, training during the week, building up their fitness, and then he's gonna have some tough decisions to make. So that should be fun to watch. Yeah. Oh yeah. While we're here, so we had 11 shots. How many were actually on target, though? Ooh, 4. Not bad. Not bad. Could be better, but that's not bad. But from 4 shots on target, we only got 1 goal. Yes, it's kind of slightly under par. But, yeah, it's okay. To get 11 shots, 4 on target. But to get 1 goal from 4 on target is not that good, especially because it wasn't because of their keeper being wonderful. It's because of our poor shooting. But I've noticed. I think they're being a bit powder puff with their shots because they're trying to keep them on target, which is all fine and good. Because it's probably better than them just blasting it over the bar, which is what they normally do. But they're kind of like powder puff. Like you can still blast it, just keep fucking down. Blast it at the keeper's head. What's he gonna do? He's gonna flap his hands in front of his face so he doesn't get bashed in the head with the ball. Just blast it at the keeper. You don't have to like softly kick it towards him. Yes. What else are we doing? Okay, we'll do this. And then we'll do this to see if this refreshes. Yeah. So tackles. as we've seen, Ryan Leonard with 7, Joe Bryan with 4, Massimo Longo with 3, Adomo Maku with 2, and Derek with 2. Interceptions, Joe Bryan with 6, and then Leonard and Derek with 2. Clearances, wow. Tristan Crammer with 11. Maybe some of them were with his head, which explains the aerial duels 1. Then Jake Cooper with 5, Joe Bryan with 4, Ryan Leonard with 4. Bender with 2. Yeah, he did punch the ball a couple of times, didn't he? No, he headed one, didn't he? He came out and headed one. Did Bender. Scared the fucking life out of me. Blocked shots. Crammer, Coburn, and Billy Mitchell with 1 each. So there you go. Now we're going to finish by going to fbref.com, where you can see in the middle of the screen the XG. The score was 1-1, but the XG was 1.1 and 0.9. So yeah, the draw was the fair result. The draw was the fairer result. You got to say off of that. If we go down, you can see possession 63 to 37, passing accuracy 80 to 67. They had 596 passes, we had 349. 2 of their 13 shots were on target, 3 of our 11 were, which is 27% of our shots were on target, which is nearly double theirs, 15%. Their keeper obviously then made 2 of 3 saves, and ours made 1 of 2. So their keeper did have a better save rate of 66%. If we go down, you can see 7 to 20 fouls. Yeah, but we only got 2 yellow cards, and we didn't give away a penalty. The ref did not give the penalty that they wanted so badly. Corners 6 to 4, crosses 20 to 14, touches of the ball 707 to 464. Wow. Yeah, the commentator was saying on Sky Sports Plus, you know, they still play a style of keeping the ball. It's just they're not as anal about it as they were when Russell Martin had it, and they would barely get over the halfway line and just pass it between the defenders, which was just so dire to watch. Yeah, tackles 15 to 20, interceptions 9 to 15, aerials 114 to 36, clearances of the ball 24 to 35, offsides 0 to 2. Of course, we're offside. Goal kicks 6 to 9, throw-ins 25 to 24, and long balls 77 to 81. And as we go down, here we go. So, the expected goals, the player with the most expected goals is Josh Coburn, 0.3. Then it was Will Smallbone, 0.2. And then Macaulay Langstaff with 0.2. Shot creating actions, basically the 2 defensive actions directly lead into a shot. So the higher this is, the more you have, the more attacking player you are. And that's Samaku and Ballo and Ryan Leonard with 3 of them. Not bad. Damn. Passes completed percentage 39.1 for Maku. Yikes. Okay. Take-ons of the ball. Imaku 3 attempts, 2 successful. And Josh Coburn 3 attempts, 0 successful. Okay, so let's move on to this. These are the passes. So what was up with Imaku's passing? 50-50 really. 3 and 6, 3 and 6, and 3 and 7. Damn, okay. What else have we got? Okay. So total distance of passing in yards. Progressive distance as in going forwards towards the opponent's goal line. Obviously the defenders are going to be higher because they're at the back, so anything they do is going to be forwards. So yeah, not really anything standing out here really. I mean, it is what you expect it to be. Okay, and you see, so Bangor Williams, he only had 2 passes. That's why he had 100% passing accuracy. Josh Coburn, he had a high one as well. Ooh, yikes! He only had 7. He only had 7 passes in the whole. Well, he wasn't on the whole game in 78 minutes. 1 short pass and 4 medium attempts, but only 3 were completed. Man, so yeah. Well, that's less. That's 5. That's 5. Damn, he only had 5 passes in 78 minutes. 1 up front. That was it. You're the one up front. You don't get involved in the link-up play. You're the point man. But 5 passes, Jesus, that's kind of slim pickings, no? And then you got Ivanovic. He's involved in, what's that, 6, 7, 8 passes. The long one wasn't accurate, the medium one wasn't accurate, and only 4 of the short ones were accurate. Yikes. So, pass types, throw-ins, 15 throw-ins for Ryan Leonard. How's your shoulder? You okay? Defensive actions, tackles. So Ryan Leonard's tackles, 6 in the defensive third. So here we go. So challenges. Trying to tackle someone who's dribbling at you. Where is he? Ryan Leonard. He tried it 5 times. He only come out with the ball twice. So he only tackled the guy come running at him, that Inusa, or whoever. Could it be anyone? We don't know who it was. He only did that. Only successful 2 times out of 5. And Longo 1 time out of 4. So there you go. Possession. Take-ons. So this is dribbling against them. And as we've already seen, Josh Coburn, nope. Tried it 3 times, didn't work. Amaku, 3 attempts, 2 successful. But yeah, other than that, not much going on. Carries of the ball. Wow, that's very low. That's very low. Obviously, we didn't have that much possession. It was 35% possession. So we're not really getting on the ball. But these numbers are really low. And look here, Smallbone. He got on the ball 6 times. And he moved a total distance of 27 yards with the ball. 10 yards of that was forward. He had 68 minutes on the pitch. Wasn't really, like, these numbers are really bad. It's not normally this bad. Like, you know if you've been watching the channel, but I mean you can go to FB Ref, go to the Millwall page. All the matches are still there. You can compare one match to the other. Like, these numbers are really low. Like, we're normally up into like at least 100 for the attacking players, like Amaku and that dribbling down the wing. Where's Amaku? He's got 12 carries for 59 yards. 27 of that was towards the opponent's goal line. But I mean, it's not just him. Like, all of these numbers are dog shit. Look at Josh Coburn. 10 carries of the ball for 65 yards. 3 yards was forwards. That's like, he's the man at the front. Fucking hell. Like, this is rough. This is really rough. No. Okay. And then if we look at this, so we already saw, like, Tristan Kramer, he had a lot of aerial duels won, but how many did he lose? Because they never tell you how many they lose. Well, they do on fbref.com. And as you can see, not a one. 100%. 10 aerial duels. 10 aerial duels won. Bosh. Have it. Who else have we got? So we got Smallbone with 100%, but that's from 2. Derek with 100% from 3. Joe Bryan with 1. Where's Jake Cooper? Jake Cooper 5, 1 lost. That's 83.3%. Again, but Josh Coburn, which is, a lot of people complaining that he can't win the ball in the air. 1 3, lost 4. But, he's up front on his own. What else can you do? But A lot better than Ivanovic, who had 0 and 2. So again, while we're here, go down and look at the keeper. Shots on target against 2, goals against 1, saves 1, save percentage 50%. Post-shot XG was 0.6, so they got 1 goal from 0.6 post-shot XG. So XG is based on where the shot taker is based, where he's based on the pitch, his position. Post-shot XG is based on where the defenders are on the pitch. Should they have defended it? His average length of his pass 36.7 yards. Goal kicks, most of them were long. Looks like 6 of them were long, 3 were short. 56.8 average length in yards. Opponents crossed into the penalty area 16 times. He came out and stopped 1. That's a stop percentage of 6.3. And his average distance from his goal line is 13.4 yards. Now, let's get on to the good stuff. The list of shots. You can see the first half hour. Yikes. 6 shots from Swansea, only 1 from Millwall. We did grow into the game. I think they kind of huffed and puffed themselves out a little bit. And we came back at the end of the half strong. And we did end up getting that goal. But you can say 2 minutes in, blocked. 12 minutes, off target. 12 minutes, goal. That was, I don't think there was much the keeper could have done with that, because it goes from 0.38 to 0.42. So it goes up a little bit, doesn't jump up. And then you go down to a small bone, 15, off target. And these are all, from a distance, really. It was just that one was 7 yards out. That one's 7 yards out. All the others are double digits. Swansea off target. Yeah, a lot of, defending and getting very lucky with them, pressuring them to shoot. And they're shooting off target. Galbraith off target. Anusa off target. Stamech off target. Ballo had a shot saved, 0.04 up to 0.1. Burgess blocked, 10-yard header. Crammer off target. Joe Bryan blocked. And then the goal, 0.27 to 0.55. So that's, more than that doubles. So that was a good chance. Then we have half time. And then we come out second half. And off target. The first shot is until the 69th minute. 69th minute. So by then, we had made our first changes. So I think we basically went out, tried to defend, keep it tight, and then establish ourselves in the game. And then we made the changes, and then we started having shots. So the first changes came in the 68th minute, 67th minute. And they don't have a shot. The first shot of the second half is in the 69th minute from Ronald. Off target, 13 yards, right footed. Crammer, off target, 9 yards header. Langstaff blocked. I think that was the one off the goal line. 17 yards left footed. And Maku saved. That was the one that got saved at the front post. And Benson, off target. Ida, off target. Vipotnik saved. So saved by the keeper. Saved by Bender. Langstaff blocked. Billy Mitchell off target. Ida off target. And Benson blocked. So there you go. And on that note, thank you for watching. And goodbye.